I want to do the right thing. Always want to do the right thing.
Feel you there.
Yeah. And like, I just like, I said this to my mom, like not too long ago. I was like, if I ever, like, if you see me like going a different direction than like what I'm saying right now of like doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like if you don't smack me upside my head, like, Alexis, this is like, you want to do it, because the right thing is not always the easiest thing.
There's always, I feel like the more you grow, that's the most difficult path, but it's the necessary path.
And that's my pursuit of like always taking that, like,
I love it.
Yeah, that's kind of, and it seems like it's like a bigger cause, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know what it is though.
I think it'll reveal itself in time.
Yeah.
And then we'll get one of these days. I'm going to get you back on here and we're going to revisit that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Sound good?
Yeah, that would be really cool. Oh, I hear you.
Is it too loud?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Oh, this is my voice.
Sounds good. Hit a high note.
No, I can't sing. You never in like choir, and you would like try out for choir and in like middle school, and all the girls are like sopranos and like all the guys are altos.
I think so.
You know, like just like high pitched voice.
Yeah.
So like I go into like audition and all my friends are in like soprano, and then I'm like, I go in and sing like, I think it's the Star Spangled Banner was the song, and they were like, you're an alto. So it's like all the men and me, and I was like,
you're like, dang it, guys.
Yeah, I was like, so I have a boy voice, is what you're saying.
Thanks.
Yeah, and like I'm 12. Cool.
Talk about boosting my confidence.
Right? I was like, I am not a singer. Like that's just right off the bat. It's not for me.
That's so funny. What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit Podcast. What we do on this podcast is bring in guests from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, to share their journey and everything along the way that led them to where they're at today. We're here to make an impact. We're here to connect, and that is what we do. So if that is for you, like, subscribe, all those are wonderful things. And if that is not for you, I don't know what your problem is, but you need to jump on board today. Thank you. But without further ado, I would love to introduce today's guest, Miss Alexis Jones.
Yay. That was great.
Thanks. And honestly, it took me a long time to nail it.
Yeah.
I think for like 100 episodes, I would butcher the intro.
Well, yeah, because I feel like it like doesn't sound scripted, but like I know you want to hit on points. So
Yeah. Now I've just got it down.
Yeah, it's great.
And I slow down because I used to just get really excited and be like, bleh, bleh.
Yeah.
And people are like, what the hell? Turn off.
Yeah.
I'm just not watching this shit.
Right.
Well, Alexis, welcome. It's so awesome to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
of course. Thank you. Shout out to Austina for the introduction.
Yes.
I've had Austina's dad on too.
Oh, really?
He's coming on again next week. But yes, thank you, Austina. You're awesome. She goes the extra mile.
Yeah, she needs to come in.
I know. I'm going to get her on here.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it forever. Eventually, I mean, there's people I've been talking about getting on the podcast for like a year and a half, 2 years, and
Yeah.
finally they come in. And I think it's just meant to be. The timing falls in place.
Absolutely.
So, Austina, get ready. Buckle up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's coming.
Yeah. So, Alexis, I keep wanting to say Alexa. I'm sure
Sorry.
people have done that.
Well, because it's the home Alexa. So like everyone says that now. They're like, hey, Alexa. And so we don't have that in our house because like that would just be a mess.
Oh, yeah. That'd be like confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Screw that.
I'm used to it.
That's funny. So real quick, just introduce yourself. Tell us what it is that you do now in your life.
Okay.
You know, just a brief picture of that. And then we're going to take it back.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and hit that.
So yeah. So right now I am a mom. I
Okay.
have a boy and a girl. Maya
Nice.
is 5 and Jace is 2.
Cool.
So full-time mom. I'm a wife. Been married since 2019.
Yeah.
And I have started my own business. So I am a technology founder. No background in tech. Kind of like saw a need, jumped into it, and really build up a team that are experts in areas that I'm not an expert in.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it's been like a really long journey. So starting your own company is hard.
Trust me, I feel you.
Yeah. I mean, like sometimes you're like, I just want to shut it all down. So
Yeah.
so that's kind of like me in a nutshell. I move around a lot. I travel a lot. I have 2 dogs and a fish that has a name that changes every other day.
How long has it survived?
So we got the fish at a fair. Typical story, right? And then Sparkle Timmy was his name. And he died like 3 days later. So then we went and got like, found a fish at the store that was like a little bit easier, but kind of like in the same breed as goldfish. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know my fish that well.
Yeah.
I know like sharks.
Right. So I'm like, oh, okay. And so I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but now it's Unicorn, Sparkle, whatever his or her name is. We've had them since August.
Nice.
Yeah, and made the trip from Buffalo to Nashville in the front seat of my husband's truck.
So this fish is well traveled. Been through a lot, yeah.
Very well traveled. And yeah, now he has like a big old home in our house, and maybe we'll get him some friends. I don't know.
We'll see, right?
We'll see about the fish.
Next thing you know, you got a giant tank.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a giant tank.
Oh,
like my
really?
husband
Just for him?
Yeah, because we had like a little like 2.2 gallon, and yeah, it just felt bad for the fish. And then when we brought him back, because we were like, we're not going to get a big fish tank, and we live here like half the year.
Yeah.
So then we got him like a big one, and he's living his best life right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's sounds kind of spoiled.
Yeah,
it's a nice fish life.
Literally,
Yeah.
the fish is thriving.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm glad to know that. I mean, I feel like the peak of our conversation has been this fish.
I've
got to meet him. No, right? I need to have one floating here. Well, that sounds awesome. Sounds like you got a beautiful life.
Yeah.
I mean, motherhood, marriage. It sounds like you got an amazing family.
Yes.
You got some amazing things going on. Props to you for starting your business and sticking with it, because there are times you want to throw in the towel, but you can't.
Yes.
You
can't.
You got to believe in yourself, and that's the most important thing. And your kids are, you're setting the example.
Right.
So quitting is, what does that teach them, right? And that's one thing I've told myself, like, what does that show my daughter?
Exactly.
So yeah, proud of you for that. So great stuff. Now we take it back.
Okay.
To the early days of Alexis.
All right.
To the grassroots, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Where are you from? Tell us about your childhood a little bit, influences along the way, just significant things, and we'll take the journey to now.
Okay. Okay, so I was born and raised in Philadelphia.
Great North.
Yep, I'm a Northerner. And I grew up like maybe like 30 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, so like a little suburban town.
East or west of it?
Ooh, I think west. Slightly west.
Oh, towards the Poconos.
Yes.
Yeah, I got family in Jim Thorpe.
Yep. So like I'm from, it's called Blue Bell, Pennsylvania, but it's kind of like 10 minutes from King of Prussia, which a lot of people know.
Okay.
The big mall that's out there. But Montgomery County. So like lived there. I grew up with 2 younger brothers.
Okay.
And my mom and my stepdad. So my mom and my dad were never like married. They were together, but they like separated when I was like 6 months old. Yeah. So my dad was like in and out of jail all my whole life. So like never really had like a really strong relationship with him.
Of course.
And then, unfortunate for him. And then my mom and my stepdad have been together. We're 17 years. And then when I went to college, they got a divorce. But that's my brother's dad. And we just like never really like connected really, even though I've known him like my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why, but it is what it is. I don't really feel like I have an awesome mom, so I don't really feel like I missed out on like a father figure, but in, I guess, the aspect of it, I did. But yeah, so then grew up in like suburbs of Philadelphia, wasn't like into sports. I'm not like sporty girl or anything. I did cheerleading.
There you go.
Yeah, and I was like the flyer, so the one they threw up in the air because I'm like really tiny. And
I was on a competition team. did the competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I played football in high school, but my senior year I also did competition.
Stop.
I ended up being a UCA instructor. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually pretty dang good.
Wow,
Yeah,
I'm impressed. I mean, we didn't have any boys on ours, but we did, and we didn't do like competition, but we did like the stunts, and we did go to like some competition classes.
That stuff's fun. It's hard.
It's fun. It's hard.
It's competitive.
Yeah.
I got a whole new respect for it. Like, I've even watched the show on like Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, they get down, man.
They really do. And
Yeah.
people like, I mean, especially it's just like really scary because you just have to like put your like all your trust in these people that like you see on the weekends. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should be trusting them.
They're like launching you in the air and
right.
stuff.
And they're just like, go up there.
Yeah, I got you.
I got you. And I'm like, oh, no, you don't.
Hope so.
Yeah. So, yeah, did that. Was like pretty social. I think I'm like pretty outgoing type of girl, friends with like almost everybody. Got voted most fun to be around in high school.
It's a big deal.
You know? Yeah. So like at least people like enjoyed me. I think like I just love connecting and
Yeah, for sure.
talking and getting to know like everybody.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my life now.
Yeah.
So,
It's kind of like podcasting, but
different.
but different.
You're not recording it.
Not recording it, just kind of just talking.
That's really cool. So it sounds like you had a pretty good experience overall. I mean, obviously, I've talked to a lot of people that parents been through a divorce or whatnot, and some people it's really hard for them. You know, obviously it was real early when your parents did. You were 6 months, and but also I don't know. It didn't seem to affect you really negatively because your mom's been such a good woman and role model for you that like it kind of overshadows that the absence.
Right. Yeah, and like I think it was like one of those things where like it sucks, like definitely. Like I would say like who doesn't want like a father in their life? Like of course. But my dad wasn't like ready to be a father, and I don't think he still is. Like,
they were young?
Yeah. Like I mean young, and like he was like a drug dealer and like just kind of like that was his lifestyle. Yeah. And like I don't think, and he was very like selfish. And so I think he just like that was his priority, and I kind of just got tired of like trying to like compete with that. So I just kind of forgave him a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like more of a healing thing for me than it is like for anyone else. It's like, why am I going to try to change you if you don't want to change? It is what it is.
I mean, that's pretty powerful to recognize early on.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of people like their whole life to actually understand that concept.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like that's drama and strife. Like, why pour energy into something that I have no control over?
Right.
All you can control is like your approach to it. Mm-hmm. One thing is, I've learned recently is just love them unconditionally.
Right.
You love them, but like, that's all you can do.
Exactly. Like if he texts me or call me, like I'll answer. Like I'm not like opposed to it or don't want him, but it's just like, well, you're just the dad that kind of brought me into the world, and that's about it.
That's
so
that.
It's okay.
Well, shout out to your mom.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
She's crazy.
Sounds like she's been a great support all along the way. So shifting into, I guess that's childhood years. Anything else very significant that, maybe has influenced you today at all from that period before we move?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, but you told it very well, so I appreciate that. Yeah, so I assume what was after high school? What was next?
So college.
Cheerleading scholarship?
No. It wasn't that good. No, I got accepted to Penn State, so I went to main campus.
Make good grades?
Yeah, I was like academically, I was like pretty strong in that area. Not that it like comes easy, but I'm a pretty hard worker. So like, my grades reflected that. I'm not like my middle brother. He's like one of those kids where like he'll get a C just because he doesn't do his homework, but like aces all the tests and like just naturally gifted.
I've never understood it.
I don't get it. He can like take apart a whole computer and put it back together. Like he's just knows everything. And
Didn't even watch a YouTube video on it.
Yeah, nothing. And I'm like, dude, I have to like sit and study. So like definitely different in that aspect. But went to Penn State, partied for 4 years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that school's wild.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I went like in undecided because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Met some like really awesome people that are like still my friends to this day.
Yeah.
That's where I met my husband, was like the first weekend at Penn State.
Cool.
Yeah, so like met him, and then basically tried to took a bunch of classes in all these different fields to see like what I was interested in. I think like I told my mom I wanted to be a philanthropist, and she told me that wasn't a job. So okay. So I tried like political science. I thought I was going to go like the politics route. And then I was really like, I don't argue well. Like I can argue my point, but like at the end of the day, if I'm like, I just don't care. Yeah, like I'm just like, oh, whatever. So that didn't really work out.
I'll get the vote with kindness.
Right. Exactly. So I was like, this isn't really like for me. And then I landed into like the nursing realm, which I like feel like that appeals to like my people, like just talking with people and like wanting to help people and doing that. So that's how I went into like nursing.
There's so many different opportunities under nursing as well. Like you can be in some trauma stuff or with the babies.
Yes.
Or like a private,
you try it all. Like, so you do a lot on like the med surge, which is like people that are like our parents' age. Mm-hmm. I actually don't know how old you are, but I'm assuming our parents' age.
Oh, how old are you?
I'm 32.
32. Okay, yeah, I'll be 35 in April.
Oh, okay, so we're the same age.
Yeah.
Same age.
Yeah, same thing.
But like our parents' age is like the med surge area, which like I hated because like our parents' age are just like the worst type of people. They like are opinionated. They're just mean.
The boomer mindset.
Yeah, like I just don't love them. And I was just like, if I'm gonna be talked down to, I might as well like deal with old people. Like that was just like and I'll give them grace because they're like 90.
Yeah, they've like lost their minds.
Yeah,
you know, not to be mean, but
yeah, exactly. That's how I was like, why would I? If I'm gonna get tormented, I might as well do it with the old people.
I always say that like babies and like old people are like the same, just different ends of the spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
Because they both can't walk that well.
Right.
And they say like stuff, like, what the hell are you saying?
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, cool. But yeah, like that. And, we tried our thing with the baby. I was in like the NICU for like 2 rotations, and I fainted with one. So I was like, I don't think kids are really my thing. Yeah, because like, I don't know, they're just like hurt little babies. And then like the woman went in to like reinsert an IV, and she started praying, and I just thought like it just took me by surprise. Not that I care that people are praying, but like I thought we're just putting in an IV. You didn't tell me we were praying, and like I have to hold the baby down. So I just like got me thinking, and
she made it intense.
Yeah, like she just started bringing in Jesus, and I was like,
you're like, oh gosh, what's happening right now?
Yeah, I was like, no one prepared me for this. And it's like 85 degrees in a NICU, so yeah, so I was like hot, and then I started seeing dots, and I went down. I was like, kids aren't for me.
Hey, at least you know.
Yeah, I was like, all right. So then like, and then I did emergency room, which I really loved. I had a really awesome nurse that they paired me with, which a lot of people don't get to do ER when you're in nursing school. The guy was like super chill and like let me do all this stuff, like insert all these things. He just didn't care. He was like, you're only going to learn if I let you do it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he was really awesome, and I got him like several times. So I really had a great experience, but you need so much like, I don't know, like years doing like other stuff before they let you be an ER nurse, which rightfully so. Like you're coming in tore up. You don't want like a new person.
And it's high speed too.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we were at a trauma one like hospital, like right kind of, it's considered Philadelphia, but it was like a little bit on the outskirts, but trauma one. So like we've seen some stuff come in, like gunshots, car crashes, like those type of things. So it was fun. But then, that kind of ended me in hospice. So I did like hospice nursing.
That's heavy.
It is, but it like isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Like people don't like you're not getting like young people really in hospice. Like you're getting really old, and like, I don't know, people, like you said, they're like crazy. They're saying like, oh, someone's coming in to put cat wallpaper up. And I'm like, yeah, what time? I'll let them in. Like,
just kind of go with it.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to try to like give you reality. Like, let me be in your reality for a minute. And it was like fun. And like, I don't know, they're actually not as bad. And not everyone dies in hospice is what people don't realize.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, it's interesting you say that, because I went and visited my grandmother up in Pennsylvania several months ago, and she's in a place, she's just she's seeing people, and stuff like that. And she'll like, her memory is all over the place. And, why correct her?
Exactly.
Like she's going to remember my correction. So I just kind of go, I'm like, oh yeah, who is that over there? You know, there's like a little shed. I was like, I wonder who lives in that house. Like a tiny shed. I was like, could it be like a little trolls or something like that? She's like, oh, I don't know.
And it's so great.
You know, and it's adorable because she's just engaging with me.
Yeah.
I just put myself in her world the best I can because like, what else are you going to do, really?
Exactly. There's nothing you can do. And like, even if they're like mean to me, I'm like, you know, you're old.
Yeah.
You can be mean. Yeah. It won't hurt me. Or you think I'm your daughter 1 minute or like, cool. Now I'm your daughter. I don't care. Yeah. Like, you know, if you like work with them, they're better. Like they'll let you do whatever you need to do.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, I actually really enjoyed hospice nursing. It wasn't that bad. Like some people get crazy in there. So like there is still entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like some guy like ripped the phone out of the wall, was like bleeding, ran out, hit the streets. I was like, listen, I was like, this is above my pay grade. I was like, listen, and it was my patient too. They were like, you're going to go chase him? I was like, no,
he's out in the middle of the road.
Yeah. I'm like, call the authorities.
Yeah.
I was like, I need a pay bump. If you want to yeah. It's like, it is hot and we're now in Tennessee. I was like, we're good.
That's funny. So you were doing that here in Tennessee?
Yeah, I did.
So this is after college and stuff like that.
Yep. So like graduated Penn State, and started it here because my husband got drafted.
So you met your husband, like you said, the first weekend in college?
Yeah.
And y'all been together since?
Well, like we weren't like dating initially. I was like wild. Like he wanted to date like freshman year and I was living my best life.
Yeah, which is fine.
It's fine, yeah. But like I just feel like he always wanted that commitment earlier. And I was just like wild and like no one should date me.
But that's pretty cool though that he gave you the space to do that.
Yeah.
And like look at y'all now.
Yeah.
So I think that like he like I don't know, it's interesting because y'all were young.
Oh yeah.
And typically people can be pretty selfish in their thinking, but he was like, you know what, I'm gonna let her do her wild thing.
Oh yeah. We grew up together basically.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So y'all knew each other for a long time.
Well, not like prior, but I was 17 when I met him. So I feel like yeah. So I feel like I was just like super young and, you know, college. I wasn't into like football or anything. So like when he was playing, and we went to Penn State like during some pretty crazy times. Like that was, I'm not sure if you know, but like the Sandusky.
Yeah, I remember all that.
So he played for Joe Paterno, and we were there during the sanctions, and he got offers to go to other schools, decided to stay. So like we were there with like the riots and like everyone's little comments, and yeah, so that was like a pretty like wild time, and just seeing like or hearing his perspective, because like I mean Sandusky wasn't really like in there when he was there. Like he was like, maybe I've seen him like a handful of times, like in the offices, but like he's like, this was like way before us. Like he's like not there now. And then
of course the media is like making it just such a big thing. First energy drink, you said? Your first ever energy
drink. I don't drink them because I don't know. I guess because I just like love coffee. So I'm like,
I do love some coffee.
Yeah, like I'm just like a coffee girl, and like I'm Puerto Rican, and like Puerto Ricans love their coffee. Bustelo is like amazing.
Good thing.
It's so good. So I like don't really like dabble, but when you offered it, I was like, yeah, you know, I don't know, for some reason.
Just live on the edge.
Yeah, and then I tried this. You like spoke highly of it, so I was like, all right, sold. Let me try it.
See that, Ghost? Look good. I'm changing the world over here.
You are.
You're welcome.
Yep. And it was good. I'm like, I was actually shocked. It tastes like, well, I mean, who doesn't know what Welch's grape tastes like?
And they match it up, but it's carbonated. It's like that's the cool thing about it. That's what I love about Ghost is every flavor you have, it tastes just like what's on the can. Like they nail it. I don't know how the hell they do it. I'm like, that's genius.
Yeah.
And they, like I said, they collaborate with like Sour Patch Kids and Welch's and it's actually pretty genius marketing too.
Yeah, no, it's good, and like I don't taste like fakeness in it.
No, it's real Welch's grapes.
Yeah,
maybe
we'll go with it.
Yeah, we'll roll with that. Yeah, thank you. Anyways, that's cool though. I love my coffee. Do you like black coffee or do you like your creamer in there?
So, I am lactose intolerant. So I did black coffee for a while, but now I'm just like, listen, who isn't lactose intolerant? Like, I can't really avoid dairy, so I just go through it. Yeah. I'm like the worst person to be like, oh, don't eat cheese. Like, I'm like, whatever. Yeah. I'm just going to be like held up on the toilet.
Yeah, might be a little tooty. It's okay. Exactly. Everybody gets a little tooty sometimes, you know?
So I like now, I don't do any sugar, but I'll do half and half in my coffee. Or I can drink it black. Like really, it's like fine.
I love my creamer. I like it nice and.
Yep.
Plus, I don't know if it's a black cup of coffee and I got it in like a thermal thing. I mean, it's going to take me an hour and a half to drink that damn thing.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to get through it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know? So,
oh, yeah. So I know. I
cool down a little bit. Anyways. All right, guys. So we were talking about, you were in college. Oh, we were talking about, we got past that, but we were talking about you and your husband and, the whole Sandusky stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even remember all the details of it. When it comes to like new stuff, I barely pay attention just because there's just a lot going on.
Oh, every time you turn on the TV.
So I remember glimpses of that. I didn't get invested in it, but sounds like some crazy times at school. You said there was riots?
Yeah, there were riots, but it was like pro Penn State riots. Like when they were like doing the sanctions on like the players and the organization, it's like they're not like these coaches, these players have nothing to do with what happened years ago. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
Why are you stripping them of wins, of like being able to recruit new players, like all of these crazy things that they were doing. And like, so they were rioting like pro Penn State and like F the world, essentially. Like it was actually like a really cool time.
There's a lot of school spirit going on.
Yeah, it was a lot of school spirit. I mean, Penn State has a lot of school spirit. I'm not like one of those that like bleed blue and white though. Like I know, like I think I have only been back one time since graduating in 2014 for a wedding because it was like at Penn State.
Yeah.
But I'm not like one of those that is like, oh, I love the school. Like I loved my time there, but like I was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm done.
You see someone like a Penn State hat, you're like, did you actually go? You like flex it on them, like, are you? Oh. That's my alma mater. They're like,
I know.
I'm just a fan.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, but yeah, people love it there.
I mean, it's is it as bad? I'm not gonna say as bad. Is it like UT fans?
Like,
because Tennessee fans are like, I mean, they're
a little annoying. I don't think I was annoying.
Guys, stay subscribed to my show.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate them. I feel like that is kind of like the Tennessee Penn State to me is like UT.
Yeah.
Because like when you're up there, but I just feel like Penn State's kind of like everywhere. Like I could probably go to any like area and somebody like went there or know somebody that went there. So like UT is cute. It's cute.
Oh.
I'm not an orange girl. So like
I'm not either.
Yeah. Like
I grew up, like when I grew up, I spent a lot of most of my childhood in Georgia. So I always liked like the Falcons and UGA.
Yeah.
And those colors are cool as shit.
Oh yeah. You have great colors.
Great colors. Mm-hmm. So that was always my teams. Now that just phased out of like sports in general. But yeah, I was like, at least get some cool color. I'm not a big orange guy either.
I'm not. Yeah, it doesn't look good on me. So I'm like, but I appreciate them. Like like
they're dedicated.
Yeah, and I want you to win.
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
Go Vols. Anyways, that said,
yes.
Moving forward, so y'all went through all that. Y'all met in college. You were getting wild, but things reconnected, and here you are now. So you talked about you were in hospice here in Tennessee.
Yep.
So when did y'all move to Tennessee? And I guess like when did y'all get married and stuff like that? Because it had to be around a similar time, I guess.
Well, actually, no. So he got drafted in 2014. Okay. So like senior year. So we graduated from Penn State, and then we were in his hometown of upstate New York for draft day.
Okay.
And he got drafted in the 4th round to the Titans.
Oh.
So then like the next day he was on a plane to Tennessee. I didn't even know where it was on the map. I was like, where the heck is
He's like, we're going to the deep south.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, oh no. I was like, I am not a Southern gal. But it's funny because we were looking at like how far the plane ride is.
Yeah.
But I didn't know like this bad. But my worst subject in the entire world is geography.
Yeah.
Like I don't know my north. When you were like, is that west or east of? Like,
my wife's the same way.
I'm like, okay, Lewis and Clark. I don't freaking know. I was like,
So,
I think west.
my wife is literally the exact same way. I'm like, all right, I got this.
Yeah, like I'm just so bad at geography. So like when I looked at like, oh, the flight, I think from Philly was like an hour 30, but on the map or like the time change, it was 30 minutes. So I was like, whoa, Tennessee's only 30-minute flight. Not realizing they're in a different time zone.
Yeah.
So I was like so confused, and then like he gets here, and I'm like, and I came down to visit like shortly after, but it was just it was a reality check.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it. I mean, the South is interesting, and people. It's not even like that southern. Like it's not like Alabama or like Mississippi. I feel like
No.
but it's a cultural change for sure.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I've been up north, and it's definitely a lot different for me up there, which I feel like I could just kind of play it. I don't know, do my
You
thing.
can blend in,
But even then, it's totally different world.
it is, and it's like, I mean, it's just like the accent, the way you guys move is like a little slower.
Whoa.
Like not like
Whoa. God.
like you guys just don't like there's no like rush
Yeah.
to anything. Like I remember waiting in line at Jersey Mike's, like getting a sub, and I was like talking to my friend, and I was like, yeah, I wonder if there's good sushi, which like there's not. It's landlocked in 2014. And like then the person behind the counter is like stops making my sandwich, telling me all these sushi places and all this stuff. There's
They take
a
the
line
gloves
out
off, and
yeah, I'm like, there's a line out the door. I start sweating. I'm like, someone's gonna start yelling at you. Like this is like in the north, they'd be like, listen, let's keep it going.
Yeah,
and just like, I mean, not like slow in the aspect of like anything other than like you guys just
kind of a little more chill.
Yeah, like. And everyone's so nice.
Yeah. See, I try to be real nice, but I'm also like, let's go.
Yeah, I have to like balance it. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, my northern's coming out. Like I gotta, remind myself where I'm at.
Yeah, you're just like,
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, don't we all have places to be? But now it's like, I mean, I don't really say like. Typically, I'll just tell people I'm from Tennessee because like being here now 11 years.
Yeah,
it's like I kind of.
You're from Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm from Tennessee now. My kids were born here, so like. But it's just really different now. I just feel like, and it's changed so much.
Oh yeah.
So like now I feel like nobody's from here.
Yeah.
Like
true.
Yeah.
I moved here because I moved to Tennessee at the end of 2015.
Okay.
So not long after you.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's changed a lot since I've been in Tennessee. It's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah, like just like every time I go down because I live in Franklin, so like anytime we go down into the city, I feel like something's being leveled out.
Yeah.
Something's being built like a high rise, like nothing looks the same.
Yeah, even here in Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
But so y'all moved here. Just real quick, do y'all plan on like staying in Tennessee? Like I guess kind of always having a place?
Yeah,
so it's home.
Yeah.
Nice. See, well, so it obviously you fell in love with it.
Right. I mean, I like Nashville a lot. Like,
yeah.
And we couldn't. Like, I'm from Philly and he's from New York. And like, I guess those are like two rival cities. Like I'm like, I could never live in New York. And he's like, I could never live in Philly. So like, home wasn't going to be home.
Yeah.
North. So the fact that we've been here for so long, like he played 7 years with the Titans, which is like a pretty long time to play with one team. So it kind of like became home.
That's cool. And you'll probably, and in that time, y'all build a lot of relationships. Y'all are established here. I mean, it just makes sense. So you just travel and, but this is your hub.
Yes.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. So, and I think you were getting to when y'all got married. Because you said you got here and it was a big shift.
Yeah, it was a big shift. And then like, we were here and we were so young and Tennessee and like the Titans, there were a lot of so in the NFL, like you're either with teams that are like everyone's single or everyone's married with kids. Like it's like a weird dynamic. So like the guys are all around either everyone's single, or everyone's got a wife and kids at home. Like it's like really no in between. You're on a young team or an old team. So here when we got here, it was kind of like an old team. Like everybody was like married with kids, but like we just kind of like stayed in our lane where it was like we were dating and still together, but. He didn't rush it or anything. Yeah. We got engaged in 2018. And then like a year later, we got married in Aruba in 2019. And then, we had Maya, our daughter, the same year.
Nice.
Yeah. So kind of like you when you were like, yeah, I got engaged and I have a baby on the way.
Was that like planned or just it just kind of happened that way?
Yeah, he wanted to have kids like 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And I was like, listen, I'm not a baby mom. So
Y'all met in college. He was like, listen, I just want to date, get married, and have kids like in the next couple of years.
I was like,
let me party.
Yeah. I was like, no, we're not doing that. So like basically as soon as we like got married, that's when, yeah.
It's cool though, because it sounds like, I mean, you know, for him, it sounds like he really values family and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And like, you know, and obviously you do now too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you always have. You just had to, you know, get some energy out. But no, I think that's just very important to y'all. And I love that because to me, like, that's such an important thing. Especially just the nuclear home aspect and stuff. I always want to maintain. I mean, obviously I went through 2 engagements, but I was just like, I wanted to have something that would last.
Yes.
You know, and that was beautiful though. I didn't want to force that. You know, I didn't want to be 40 years into a marriage being like, oh, the old ball and chain, you know, like you're never going to hear that stuff from me now. But, so this sounds like some like really good values. I mean, I align with you guys 110%. So I love that. But yeah, so you came here, y'all did your thing, got married in Aruba.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. We, well, I think people like I have Puerto Ricans, like they all have kids out of wedlock. So I have a bunch of cousins and a bunch of aunts and uncles and everybody. Like, listen, I love them. They're my family. But if they didn't come to the wedding, that was okay with me. So like, I was like, let me not make it like super convenient because I'm not like throwing this party for like everybody to just come. Yeah. Like I was like, listen, I want to do it my way. And I love the ocean. I love the beach. I like to travel. And so, but I'm also very, even though I'm a business owner, I'm not type A. I'm a very laid back person. Like I did not plan one thing about my wedding. Like I showed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I really did. And like people are like, what? And I'm like, of course I picked my dress. But like I never saw the resort. I didn't try food until like 2 days before the wedding. I never tried cake. I didn't really do the table setting, nothing. Like I just kind of really showed up because I don't care about those things. Like I really don't. Like I'm just not that type of girl.
You know, it's a very intimate thing. I'm not knocking people that have huge weddings.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, before I was supposed to have a big one, but like no, my wife and I, like we got married out in East Tennessee in the mountains. We had a spot and Cades Cove, and it's a beautiful place. A lot of people just drive through there, but we got married by this old tree. It was my family and her family. Like we didn't invite friends. We didn't invite a bunch of extended family. It was simple. We went out to eat at this restaurant after. We had a cake from Publix.
Yeah.
You know, she picked her dress and everything. That was it. But it was so simple.
Yeah.
And it was just about us. And
exactly.
It wasn't about pleasing all these people.
Yep.
And it was perfect.
Yeah.
That's all we needed.
It was like, that's exactly like how ours was. It was like because, you know, if you do like a destination wedding, like you can kind of get like group rates or whatever for like the hotel. And like all of our friends love a good vacation and party, whatever. So we invited like everybody, but like if you could afford to come, you came. And it was like 5 days of just like fun, party, hang out, like just our vibes of like all his boys were there, like. And, you know, we just kind of like popped into some like, oh, let's taste the cake that we're going to have. Okay, whatever. That sounds great. Like, let's go back. I think him and his friends lived in the pool volleyball, like the full 5 days. They like never got out that pool. Yeah. And I just kind of like hung out and it was great. Like and it never rains in Aruba. That's the only reason why we picked. Like people are like, oh, have you ever been to Aruba? I'm like, no. I was like,
go to see it for the first time.
Nope, we're all gonna experience it together.
Yeah.
And then we just heard that it never rains there, so we were gonna have like an outdoor wedding, and it would have been fun and no problem. So that's why we picked it.
Super cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, super chill.
Yeah. So and then y'all had your first not too long after. Mm-hmm. Were you still in your career at this point, or did you just kind of like step away from nursing, or what?
Like probably a couple months into being pregnant, I stepped away from nursing. And then I had my daughter, and then that's when the pandemic hit.
Oh.
So, and then I was like, who goes back to hospice nursing during a pandemic when like I don't have to go back to nursing? It wasn't like financially I needed to go back to work.
Yeah.
But it kind of like allowed us to kind of be still because our like football life is crazy.
Yeah.
And like we didn't even know what football was going to be like at all. So like it was, as much as like it sounds crazy, but like it was kind of a blessing because it's like, oh, you have a new baby, but then the world shuts down and like you can't leave your house.
Yeah.
So you get to just have like a lot of family time and a lot of like, you know, being a parent and figuring that all out all during a pandemic. So
for you guys, it worked out. For you, it worked out.
Yeah. And then like I kind of got into like cooking, which I really wasn't like into cooking. So cause like what else is there to do?
Yeah.
And we like worked out a lot. So it was like a lot of healthy habits.
Sick.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the first couple months you're probably drinking like, oh, this is great. Like blah, 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 blah.
It's Monday, but it's a Saturday.
But like let me pop a bottle, something. So, yeah, we started doing that, and yeah, I just didn't go back into nursing, but instead I, you know, like Amazon was everything. Like during the pandemic, you're like ordering boxes of they whatever. Yeah, they come all the time, especially with a new baby too. Like I'm sure like when you're like, oh, I didn't know I needed this, or you order a bunch of crap and you're like, oh wait, I never even opened this box. So like that kind of was our life, and I still think it is for a lot of people, just like online shopping. And I was sitting there one day, I'm like, look at all this crap I have to return, and I don't even know when I bought it, like what's in any of this. Like I just want someone to like take it back. I don't even want to deal with it. And that's kind of like where my wheels started turning. I like looked online, like basically creating a business, not realizing I'm creating a business, but like, okay, is there something like this out there? Do people like even come to your home and pick up your returns or like items you don't want? And then realizing that wasn't it, and then doing like market research and being like, oh, is this a pain point for everybody? Does anybody see this the way I do, or am I like the only one? Asking friends and family, neighbors, and then that kind of like spiraled into me starting my own company.
Oh, so just like curiosity sparked your business. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you did all the things and then it just clicked. Like, wait, there is nothing like this.
Right.
Let's do something with it.
Exactly, because I don't have like a business background or like never thought I'd be an entrepreneur ever. It's not really like,
amen.
Yeah, you're like, I would never. And I mean, I would tell people like, yeah, if you don't want to like clock in and clock out, yeah, start your own business, but it sucks.
Yeah, I clock. I don't think I ever clock in and clock out. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah,
you don't. And it's like constantly on your mind, or like you're like, let me just answer this email, or let me just, and then you realize like, oh, I haven't looked up from my phone in a little bit, and my kids are running around wild, and maybe I need to step away. So it's like, it's hard.
Yeah, it's tough because you want to, especially being like very family oriented people, you want to be engaged and present with them.
Yes.
And it's something that's been really hard for me because I am very present with my family. I'm intentional about my time with them, but also like there's always thoughts or things that I'm thinking about something regarding my business in the back of my mind until I close my eyes and go to bed.
Right.
And then as soon as I wake up, I'm like, okay, what do I got to do today? Oh, wait, I got to add this to my reminders.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Reminders. I'm like, somebody send me a calendar invite. If you don't, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean, you told me that right away. I was like, done.
Yeah. I'm big on those because, it's just busy.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's taxing. I mean, no matter where you're at in life too, I mean, like you said, y'all are in a good place. Your family is, right? Your husband's got his career and stuff, but a lot of people think because you do have maybe a comfortable life that it would maybe be easier, but it doesn't take away from the workload.
No.
Yeah, maybe you you don't have maybe this one stress as much, but there's still all these other things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like of course, like the financial aspect is like great. Like the NFL has provided us so much, but I mean, even like his work too. It's like, yeah, you do all this, but like it's such a short period of time. I mean, 11 years is long in the league, but you have to make this last you a lifetime. You have like this money is like such short lived. Like if he retires like next year, we're 30, he'll be 34.
So now and that's, you hear a lot about that, like NFL players getting out or pro athletes in general, and they're done and then they go broke.
Exactly. And you're like, you have to have this money last you till like you're old and you're gray and all of this stuff. And so it's really interesting that people, and very few amount of NFL players make like money that's going to last them forever. Like there's got to be some type of investment or other things that you do. Or you start working. There are athletes that like get out and like now do other stuff outside of that. That is very real. But yeah, very few. Like unless you're like a quarterback or a wide receiver or like this like future Hall of Fame, whatever. You're gonna have to do something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's
because you got the guys that get like lifetime endorsements. And
exactly.
Stuff
like
that, right?
I'm sorry, we're a defensive tackle. Like there's like 3 that people can probably name that are making like a crap ton of money. So
yeah.
It's just different, and people don't really see it from that perspective.
No, that is interesting. I mean, I think I've thought about that, but it's not something I sit there and wonder about because it's not really just relevant to my life. But yeah, I mean, you're getting paid really well for just this much time.
Yep.
Because your body's going to wear down. You're going to have to be like, all right, man, it's time. Like I don't want to be too broken, you know, because you're constantly taking hits and hitting others, and you're pushing your body to the limits. I mean, hell, honestly, your whole life until the day you decide to stop. Right.
And it's like you stop or the teams tell you you're done. Like, like it's like sometimes you don't get to like walk away on your own. Maybe it's an injury that takes it away from you. Maybe like the NFL just says, you know what, nobody wants you. Like there's so many possibilities of like why you don't go back. So like as much as, you know, we're so fortunate of 11 years. Like there was so much that's like unheard of for like how long, and especially for his position. Like to your point of like, oh, your body just like gives out like, it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel you. I mean, I struggle with this. I mean, I've had some injuries, but you know, sometimes going up the stairs, I'm just like, oh boy. Hey, I just want a level house one day when we build one. But yeah, that's very interesting concept. So I'd imagine that you guys, because I want to dive into your business a little bit more. But it seems that you guys are proactive towards kind of setting your future up. Like you're building a business, so that's obviously that's a thing, and you're getting that to where it lasts. But you know, I'd imagine there's probably some other, you know, you don't want to share it all, but y'all seem to be conscious of that and proactive towards like setting yourself up for success for the rest of your lives.
Yeah, like we have my business. We have rental properties. We are like investors in an apartment complex in Nashville. We have a bar restaurant in New York. We have a pretty like, we own like a bunch of land, a big plot in Nashville and some in Brentwood. So we're pretty like diverse. And then we obviously have like a financial team that invests in a bunch of things across the world. And so.
Y'all should write a book for like pro athletes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, it'd
be so valuable coming from someone living it.
I know. And I don't really think about it too much until like people are like, oh, you guys own rental properties? I'm like, yeah. I actually did a flip with my father-in-law up in Buffalo when we were there, and it's about to be ready. And I learned a lot about like electrical and even just like knocking down walls and painting. And it was so something I'm like not in, like, I just was like, oh, for my I think I was like 30th or 31st birthday, 30th. I was like, I want a house, a fixer-upper. That's what I want for my birthday. I like am not bad at burpees. Like I would actually rather do burpees than row or like do some of the other conditioning stuff.
Yeah.
Like personally, I just don't mind burpees, and it doesn't, I don't know, maybe, I don't know why, but my body's like doesn't really hate them. Yeah. But it's just, I mean, they're still hard.
I think it's just the thought of them for people. Like, they're always been this hated thing, and I think that's like part of the appeal to me. Yeah. Was like, I'm gonna make burpees my thing. Yeah. You know? And then like it's really cool because I post the clip, like a 30-second clip on my story, and it's really about the consistency aspect. Yeah. But the number of people that have reached out and been like, dude, you're like I look forward to seeing your video because it makes me want to do something. You know, or like it inspires people, and you don't even realize that because they see you consistently doing something that sucks. That does something in their mind. Oh, yeah. You know, so I think it's kind of a powerful, and it's a journey I'm on. I don't know, like 500,000 burpees in, like, what am I going to realize? Because now I realize to me, it's just like life.
Yeah.
You know, like I hit the ground, right? Well, I've been there before. That's just, and I just keep going. And, you know, some days I feel strong. Some days I feel weak. It's the same shit.
I know.
So it's just, it's a reminder of that. And, so becoming more than just burpees.
It's interesting. I've never heard someone say, like, I'm going to reach 1,000,000 burpees.
I know. I'm going to be the guy.
Yeah. Like, that's insanity.
Yeah.
But good for you.
I can't videotape all 1,000,000, like, because you're going to get somebody's like, where's all the proof? And I'm like, well, I do clips pretty much every day. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to prove it to anybody. It's really for myself.
Right.
And, I don't know. My phone doesn't have that much storage for 1,000,000 burpees of.
Yeah. Nobody cares to watch someone do it. Like, let me count all 1,000,000.
There might be somebody out there.
Because people are trolls. They're totally going to be like, I need proof. But I believe you. So I did 60 and that was enough. So I can't imagine.
Maybe you'll be like working out one day and you'll be like, burpees.
Let me do
like that. I triggered something.
Yeah. No, we do. Like sometimes in our workouts, like he'll do like I don't know, like you have 20 minutes and you have to do all of this, or you have to reach like 10,000 meters on the row, but every 2 minutes you have to go run this, do 10 burpees, do this. So like it's like sometimes the workouts are like have that, and by the time I'm like, I just did amount of burpees, and he's like, well, you know, if you moved a little faster, you would have done less. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, screw you.
Sorry.
Well, all right. Talked a lot about burpees now.
Yep.
I think you just asked me what I do to work out, and it led to that.
Yeah.
What do? You do like CrossFit style stuff?
Yeah. So I like met this trainer. I used to work out at Lifetime Fitness.
Okay.
Well, I never worked out, honestly, outside of cheerleading. I wasn't like really big into like working out. And then despite being married to an NFL athlete, and then I was like, I should probably get a trainer and like, you know, I need like accountability. It's like my thing. Like I won't do it on my own. I need to like meet someone or schedule something.
Yeah.
Because I will, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'll meet you there. I'll be there.
Of course.
So that's kind of like my thing. And so I signed up, and I like my first day, I think like when you go to Lifetime, they'll like pair you with like a personal trainer, and they're like, hey, you know, what type of trainer do you like? And I'm like someone who's chill and like, you know, but like accountability, like laid back, blah, blah, blah. And like describing my perfect person as a personal trainer. And then I meet him day one. His name's Kevin. And I meet him day one, and he's like, all right, listen, you're going to put your phone away because we're not taking ass pics. And this isn't a time where you're thinking you're cute.
He's like chunky phone.
I'm like he is like Cadet Kelly. I'm like,
shit.
I was like, I did not, excuse me.
Did y'all hear my description?
Yeah, I was like, this is not the guy. I was like, you picked the wrong guy. He's like, was in the military too. Like,
okay.
So he's like, he's my first friend actually here in Tennessee.
Cool.
So like, we're still really good friends like to this day, and he still trains me. But yeah, like that's who kind of got me like motivated into working out. And he does like, I mean, he has like a hybrid of different types of workouts. I like high intensity, like interval training. Yeah. Like my body does really well with that. I like heavy lifting. Yeah. Stuff like that.
It's a variety.
Yeah. Like I like to be like challenged. Like the mental thing, that's like a big thing for me. But yeah, I'm not like like running is not like thing. I think short people and running just don't really go hand in hand. But yeah, so then I tried my hand at like 2 CrossFit competitions. One I did with him, which like never again. Like I think because I'm just like sassy too. Like we had to do this one thing where it's like wall balls, and I kept getting that like no point because my ball wasn't getting high enough, and I'm like, I'm short. Like and so at one point I look over, I'm like, Kevin, you finish it. I'm not doing it. Yeah,
account for my height, guys.
I'm like, this lady is like, has it out for me. Yeah. Like, I'm like, so totally mad. But like my first time I got like 13th place. And then like the second time I did it, I got like 2nd place.
Nice.
Yeah. And then he's trying to get me to do it again. I'm like, no. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I mean, you know, you stay on top of it. I already know your husband's working out a bunch too. That's part of his job.
Exactly.
So that's essential. I did want to ask you, you know, because we got like 20 more minutes or so. You were talking about, when we got off the last.
Oh, I flipped a house.
Yeah, you flipped your house. Yeah, first
Yeah,
house.
flipped
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, my father-in-law, I mean, I was like more like helping and learning. He does a lot of that type of stuff, but it was just like a cool goal, like something that you can kind of see and be like, oh, I did that. Because I work in tech, so like even though like I am creating something, it's like I don't know, it's like not like a tangible like product that I'm creating. It's like digital, so it was cool to like do like the stuff in this home, and it was just like an old home in Buffalo, New York, and we're gonna like rent it out, but typically with like our investment properties, I don't get this involved. It was just like one of those things where I just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So I did it.
That's awesome. And then it's just taken off from there.
Yeah. So like we just have like a few houses. My husband's really big into real estate. I feel like he's on Zillow every other day. He like knows where everything. Yeah, that's how we found like our current home. It like went on the market the same day, and he's like 5 acres in Franklin. That's unheard of. I'm buying it, and it's like all around like farms and cows and like all of that.
Nice.
It has a barn on it. Yeah. But it's funny because like when we moved there, it was always raining when we went to go like look at the house, and we bought it, and I am deathly allergic to horses. It's like one thing. It's like a weird allergy.
Very random.
Yeah, like EpiPen, like it's bad.
Whoa.
But every time we went to go look at this house, it was raining, so there were no like animals were out. So I like didn't even do my research. We live on like a very like an equestrian road.
Oh.
Yeah, like all like show horses.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay.
Better get the Flonase.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this isn't really that great. But like, there's a lot of land that's like separates everybody. So
yeah, but every time you drive by like those places, you roll the windows out.
Yes,
like we
it's
ain't
bad.
playing.
Yeah, so every time I get on my husband's nerves, he's like, you want to go ride horses?
I didn't even know that was like a thing.
Yeah.
Horse allergies.
And everyone thinks I'm like playing. I'm like, do you think that that's the allergy
Yeah.
I would want to come up with?
Yeah.
Like there's cooler ones. No, it's just horses.
Yeah, it's just horses.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I mean, it's not funny. It kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
I guess you got no horseback riding for you.
Exactly. Oh, man.
Is what it is. But I'm curious, the dynamic though, being a NFL wife.
Okay.
Your husband's been at it for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very competitive lifestyle, probably extremely demanding. Mm-hmm. You said you're at home in Nashville for how much of the year?
So yeah, we're here February to August, and then August to February we're back in wherever he's at.
So what's that like? I mean, obviously it's probably a challenge in itself. Maybe not. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, for 7 years we were with the same team, so that was like really nice and easy. And
you're here.
Yeah, I was here, and that's why I think that's why like Tennessee became home.
Yeah.
Then we played like a 1 year. We don't talk about it often, but we played with the Panthers, and it was just like that weird COVID year, like after COVID, and the team was sucky. And then we this is our third season with the Bills.
Yeah.
So we like moved up to Buffalo, and we like have just like a normal house up there. We decide, well, when you bring in kids up too, like you kind of need more space. It's not like you can get like a apartment. But Buffalo is like a really great community. Like the team is amazing. The community is amazing. So it's like easier to be like to move there.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of close to his hometown. Like we're both like from up north, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's just, every year it's like a new team, new people. Make new friends.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like traveling with a band. You're not like on a tour bus, all the time. You're able to stay somewhere. Do you go to all the games?
So I go to every home game.
Okay.
That's been fun. I mean, Bill's Mafia is insane. Like, I don't think you guys really.
They like jump through the plate, the
and I'm
tables
right there.
And shit.
Yeah, I'm riding. So I live my best life. Like when I tell you, like my inner Penn State comes out because I'm riding the mechanical bulls. Like people are DMing me to show up to their tailgate. Like I am a tailgater.
You're like a superstar there.
I am like one with the community.
Yeah.
Like, call me, I will be there.
Oh, that's so funny.
So I'm like really big into like the tailgating scene just because it's like Tennessee like deprived us for so long because like they're not a big like football town here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's Music City. So like rightfully so, no one's really like a Titans fan, which is fine. But I'm from Philly, so Eagles, Super Bowl winners, you know, like that's been in my, like that's like part of my blood. Like I grew up and tailgated like Phillies, Flyers, like it's just a big sports city.
Yeah.
And so when you come, you're experiencing that and then going to Penn State, which is like live, breathe, sleep, like football and all the sports. I loved tailgating. I think I just loved that aspect of it. And then you go to Tennessee and it's like, wah, wah, wah. Like nobody likes to do it. It feels like an away game every time you're there.
Yeah.
Like the opposing team travels better. So that was like kind of a shock. But then like when you go to the Mafia, it's like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are like,
It's a good time.
oh my gosh, it's so much fun. And like it doesn't hurt that the team is really, really great. You know? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, the organization, the players, like, and you're winning. Like that's always like the best type of mix. So
Can't go wrong with that.
yeah.
I love that. Didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
No, those
But-
dang Chiefs.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I can't say it'll happen. It's not up to me. But
Yeah. I have a feeling though next year is our year.
hey,
I have a feeling.
you know what? I'm going to root for you guys.
Yeah, you should.
Because nobody can come at me. I don't have like a team I claim. So I'm going for the Bills.
Oh yeah, we
I'm the
should.
Bills Mafia next
Yeah,
year.
you have to. I mean, it's you like the culture. You'd fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Like, one day, like the people, they're just amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
I'm all for it. Very like patriotic colors too. So that's pretty
Yes,
cool.
Very.
I'm in, guys. Bills fan here.
Yep. See, look, I just converted somebody.
Yeah.
Look, you converted me to energy drinking. I added a member to the Mafia.
Yeah, look at me. That's so funny. I'm just trying to picture myself in like a jersey and everything, but hell yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
No, but that's actually pretty cool. I mean, it sounds like a very fun dynamic too, and you make the best of it. Your kids are kind of just involved. It seems like a lot of different things. You know, with the time we have left, I want to see one. You know, you talked about all y'all have going on. So where do you see your business going? Because you're putting a lot of work into that too.
Yeah. So, okay, like a little background. So I created an app. It's called Snapback Returns. And what it does is it's for online shoppers, essentially. So it syncs with your email, organizes all of your online purchases. So everything you bought in the past 90 days. And then we remind you when they're due for return. So you don't have to look up like Target's return policy or Walmart's return policy. Like we've done all the hard work for you. So we just send you reminders like, hey, you have 10 days left, 7 days left, 3 days left to return this item. And it just took a lot because like there's AI is involved with it. And I knew there had to be a technical component to the company. Like, even though when I spoke about it earlier, it was like, I want someone to handle my returns.
Yeah.
But it was 2020 at the time and everything's tech and everything's an app. So that was like kind of how it like started to build the tech side of it. But then what about still getting that return back to like UPS, FedEx, USPS? So initially I thought, and this is just being naive and starting your own company, of like, I'm going to create like an Uber model. Like we're going to go door to door to door and pick up returns and take it back for people.
That's a really cool idea.
Great idea, right? It's not scalable. No, do not get into logistics. Like don't do that. Uber has figured it out. They're a unicorn. Lyft, same thing, but it's not scalable. And like they've done it and it's great, but I learned the hard way. So we have like basically just the tech evolved and we now have formulated like a partnership with like DoorDash essentially where
Super cool.
they will come to your home. They've already like, they're a logistics company. They scaled out and they actually pick up stuff and take it to UPS, FedEx, USPS. So we leverage them. So we're just going to be like the platform to help them like see their purchases and then schedule return pickups. And it will be DoorDash that is actually coming to your home instead of us.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You know, that's great for me because I like my wife will be, hey, can you return this? And I'll have something in my backseat for like 4 days. She's like, it's due in like 2 days. I'm like, okay, I'll get over there.
Exactly.
But I just get bogged down with work and I'm like, oh, just go last minute. And so like something like that'd be great. Like shit, I'll just hit this app up. It'll come to the office and grab it
from your office.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we're hoping to launch that. It's a lot of testing right now. But March 1st.
Well, now that you're you're partnering with someone that's like tried and true. Like probably hard to scale, like what you said, because you got those pioneers that have like basically own that space.
Yes.
And yeah, you could there's probably a way to compete with them, but that'd be a whole different beast in itself.
Right.
But partnering, I mean, just as beneficial, but less on you.
Exactly. And it's like not there, like they offer it, but like people don't think of like DoorDash or Uber or anything like that and think like, oh, you're going to pick up a package for me. You know, like they're just like a logistics, like, oh, DoorDash is going to bring me my food. They've gotten to like into other aspects of like convenient shopping and stuff like that. But yeah, we're staying in our lane.
Yeah.
And we're leveraging people that are in a lane that we see value. And so we're just, you know, letting our technologies talk to each other and creating a seamless experience for the customer.
I mean, it's badass. I like it. That's really cool.
Thank you.
I was looking into it a little bit, and now that you explain it to me, I'm like, man, that's really creative. And I don't know. It is one of those need things because people like nowadays just don't have the time. Like
you don't have the time. And it's like, there's so many, like we all online shop. It's not changing. That habit's not changing.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to add that level of convenience that people expect already. And so that's what I created. And, you know, because it's a nation, like anyone can use it. It's not like, as long as there's like DoorDash in your area, which they're a scaled company, you can use Snapback. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I can still do the work in Buffalo. I can still do the work here. We do have a lot of like fun things kind of planned for like this summer because I just feel like Nashville is a great, like there's a lot of shopping, there's a lot of like energy, there's a lot of like people, and it's a great place to kind of, you know, throw parties and have events and get promotion. And so, yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for.
That's really cool. I'm pumped for you guys. That's amazing. I'm going to download the app today.
Yes.
I'm downloading it. Yeah. That's super cool.
And your wife.
Yeah. Oh no, she definitely will. Yeah. That's badass.
Hey,
cool. Good for you. That's
it.
Awesome. And that curiosity sparked it. Sometimes guys that goes to say, if you got an idea, just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
See what the outcome could be.
Exactly. Don't count yourself out.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we got a few more minutes. I got 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
I'm just curious. One, what would you say is probably the most impactful moment of your life? Like the single most impactful one? It's tough.
It is. I think, oh, wow. There's like so many things that come to mind.
Yeah. And you don't want to be like, well, this one, but actually, yeah.
Yeah, like.
Well, if you don't got that, we can revisit it another day.
Dang, I wish I had like a really solid, like top of mind answer. But then I'm like, oh, kids. Oh, wait, no this, no that. And I'm like.
Well, then maybe I never really asked people that. For some reason, I wanted to, but I do have the question I ask everybody, and maybe that'll force that thought.
Okay.
Or we can just leave that one back there.
Okay.
Because I know you do have moments that are impactful. You just don't know which one to say is the single most.
Yeah.
So I'll ask this because I ask every guest this one.
Okay.
What is your relentless pursuit?
Oh, wow. I think it is what am I want to be? What do I want to be known for? What do I want to leave behind? I think that like I think of so many different things of like, do I settle with like just my everyday interaction with people and just being like positive, or just like people getting to know me, or like taking the time out to like ask someone how they're doing? Like, is that just the little interactions I have with people? Is that what my pursuit is, or is it bigger?
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, we talked about this, like, I don't know if it was on or off camera, but like, I just want, like, when my company takes off, and like with that comes like power. And I just want to I want to do the right thing. I always want to do the right thing.
Feel you there.
Yeah. And like, I just like, I said this to my mom, like not too long ago. I was like, if I ever, like, if you see me like going a different direction than like what I'm saying right now of like doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like if you don't smack me upside my head, like, Alexis, this is Like you want to do, because the right thing is not always the easiest thing.
There's always, I feel like the more you grow, that's the most difficult path, but it's the necessary path.
And I want to, that's my pursuit of like always taking that, like,
I love it.
Yeah, that's kind of, and it seems like it's like a bigger cause. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know what it is though.
I think it'll reveal itself in time.
Yeah.
And then we'll get one of these days. I'm going to get you back on here and we're going to revisit that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Sound good?
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Awesome. Well, Alexis, I know you got to get going. Got a few minutes left. Is there anything else you want to throw out there before we part?
No, I just really...
The dog snoring.
What a great time. No, I just want to thank you for having me. This was like super fun and like easygoing. And yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure having you here. And just thank you so much for your time and let me get to know you and hear about what you got going on. And I look forward to connecting again in the future.
Yes.
You know, your husband, getting him on here and just seeing what y'all do and creating your life. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I'm proud to know you.
Oh, thanks.
Awesome.
I appreciate that.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
All right. Y'all take care.